Hi friends, in today's video we'll be discussing the prospect of doing an MBA at the IITs. Now, traditionally IITs have been known as a technical institute. There are institutes known well for their technical excellence in subjects like engineering or say sciences, but it's a very recent trend that we are seeing that the MBA programs in IITs are rising in popularity, in prestige. A lot of candidates love to go for an MBA program at an IIT. So today's video will discuss, we'll go through the entire meat of the matter. We'll see why do people prefer MBA programs at IITs nowadays, what are the pros, and at the end we'll also discuss a bit about the cons. So firstly, let us consider when you could probably seriously consider going for an IIT. So if your CAT score is good, but it's not like stratospherically good, it's like it's good, but it's not outstanding. Say you have a 95 or a 96, but you don't have a 99 plus. So, well, you can't, ABCs are kind of out of the question for you, but you still want a very good B school that you can wing with your 95, 96 percentile, then IITs are a good option for you. Coupled with the possibility that your XAT did not go as well as you had planned, and that happens. XAT can be a little unpredictable as an exam. So if your XAT didn't go well and maybe you missed out on a sectional cutoff, or maybe your overall score is just below what XLRI would consider for its calls, please do consider IITs. They're a very good option for you. Or quite simply, you just did not get the calls you were expecting in this cycle. This happens to a lot of good candidates. You make up your mind, you think, well, I have like a 90, whatever, a very good percentile, my profile is good, I should be expecting this call, and then the day of the results, you don't get that interview call. And it's a very disheartening moment, and we understand that. So if you did not get the calls you were expecting, there are still IITs, and as we will soon discover, these are excellent options. So let us first look at why should you consider an IIT for an MBA. Now, IITs are remarkably well known for their scientific or their technical excellence, right? In India, IITs are the dream institute if you want to be an engineer. But that same excellence, that same brand recognition also recently has extended to their MBA programs as well. So the MBA programs are also considered to be of very high repute at an IIT. So that's reason one. There's a lot of prestige attached to the MBA programs now, and of course you get the IIT tag. So that's always a bonus. Now, secondly, there is a blend. There's an interdisciplinary blend of tech and management. So the IIT MBA programs, their focus is a little extensive on your analytics, on your business analytics, your data-based decision-making, tech-oriented management. IIT curriculum focuses a lot on that. And also IITs have a highly collaborative environment. You must remember, when you're studying at an IIT, your peers are not just your colleagues from the MBA program. Your peers are also people who have cracked JEE, and these are some of the smartest people in the country. So you have a golden opportunity to interact with these people, and there can be a cross-pollination of ideas, and which is invaluable. It's qualitative. I cannot quantify it, but it will greatly widen your horizons, and it can lead you to form a lot of fruitful networks if you want to consider merging tech and business. This is the best place to be because your peers are the smartest tech savvy people in the country. Now, strong placement and network opportunities. Of course, the placements at IIT MBA programs are pretty stellar. You have major firms like McKinsey, BCG, Amazon. They do come for the campus placements. So not only is the IIT Tech program, the engineering program not only does it boast spectacular placements, the MBA program too is catching up. And of course, the alumni networks at an IIT are incredibly robust, incredibly strong, wide. So you have a very strong alumni network, which you can leverage for networking, or if you want internship opportunities or placement opportunities or job opportunities or just advice in general. The alumni network at IITs is just exceptional. Now, IITs also focus on emerging tech fields. So you have, of course, your usual suspects like data analytics, big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So the IIT MBA program will focus heavily on how you could utilize these new emerging technologies and improve your business. So this is a great positive to have. And finally, compared to some baby IIMs, in fact, compared to most baby IIMs, the top IITs can arguably be a better choice. First off, the placements in absolute terms offered by top IIT MBA programs like IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, even maybe IIT Madras, Kharagpur to an extent, they can be better than the ones offered by baby IIMs, and the ROI is also a lot better. We'll come to the ROI part in a bit, but you'll have to take my word on the ROI. The placements are also better. I think the average in a baby IIM is 12 to 16 lakhs, and the average across the top 5 or 6 IIT MBAs would be around 18 to 19 to 20 lakhs. So the average is higher, the ROI is also higher. I will show that a little later during the video. And IIT MBAs also have a more favorable perception among top consulting, tech and finance firms. So that also works to your advantage should you choose to get into an IIT for an MBA. And IITs, of course, we have talked about this before. The alumni network is intense, it's robust, and it's just better connected than the ones you would find at the fledgling IIMs. The new IIMs, their alumni networks are not that richly developed yet. And of course, the infrastructure and the quality of the faculty at an IIT is world class. So you also get that. Now let's just quickly run through eligibility, because we get a lot of questions. You know, I'm a non-engineer, I'm a commerce graduate, I'm somebody who did economics. Am I eligible? Like, what happens? And there's a lot of confusion. And so we have a small section here where we go through each IIT, and we will tell you if non-engineers are eligible, or under what conditions are non-engineers eligible. So starting with IIT Bombay, luckily IIT Bombay has no specific constraint on your degree. So your degree could be anything. You need to make sure that you have a 60% or higher, and your degree can be anything. You can apply for IIT Bombay. IIT Delhi, once again, there is no specific constraint that you have to be an engineer or you have to be a science graduate. Your degree could be anything. Of course, there's a marks cutoff. You have to make sure you have a minimum of 60% or a 6 CGPA. Otherwise, you're through, you're fine. Now, IIT Kharagpur is where things get a little complicated. IIT Kharagpur has an OR clause. So either you have a bachelor's degree of 4 years in engineering or tech, or say you're a non-engineer. In that case, you need to have a master's degree in either science, economics, or commerce. Now the problem is, if you have a master's degree in art, then unfortunately you cannot apply to IIT KGP. The other IITs are very straightforward. Madras, again, has no specific requirement that you need to have a degree in engineering. Same goes with Kanpur. Kanpur, again, does not have any specific requirement. Neither does Roorkee, nor does ISM and Dhanbad. So to summarize, the only IIT which has something of a roadblock if you are a non-engineer is IIT Kharagpur. Please be mindful of that. Otherwise, with the other IITs, you should not have a problem as long as your marks are above 60%. Now, talking about the percentile ranges that you would need. Now, when we say safe percentiles, guys, these are just a rule of thumb. This is not something set in stone, right? There are cases where people have had 98.5, 99, and they still did not get a call from IIT Bombay. And there are cases where people had a 97 and 96, and they still got a call. So these numbers, these figures are just purely indicative. If you have a 98 plus, you can safely, reasonably expect a call from Bombay. Same goes for Delhi. IIT Madras, the cutoff is a little lower. So if you have anywhere between 92, anywhere between this range or above, you are safe. Kanpur, 95-ish. Kharagpur is again 90 to 95. Roorkee is 92-ish. And ISM Dhanbad has, fortunately, it has a lower cutoff of 80 to 85. Guys, once again, the category that we are discussing here is the general category. Now, when we give this information to our students, this is actually one of their live reactions. I'm just kidding. Jose Mourinho is not a student, unfortunately. But yes, people do get really optimistic, and you have every reason to get optimistic. Now, before we proceed further, let's just quickly touch upon this whole MBA versus PGDM difference, because people do have some questions. You know, what's a PGDM? Okay, so is there going to be a drastic difference if I go for this MBA degree, or is PGDM something like which is completely different? What's going on? So luckily, there isn't much of a difference in terms of your pragmatic, realistic elements like packages or placements. Won't make a big difference. MBA and PGDM are more or less the same, but there are technical differences that we should discuss. So, of course, there's a difference between full forms. MBA is Masters of Business Administration, and your PGDM is a postgraduate diploma in management. So the difference is that one is a degree and the other is a diploma. And the reason why one is a degree and the other is a diploma is because MBAs are awarded by universities, and universities are regulated by this body called UGC, which is University Grants Commission of India. On the other hand, PGDMs are usually provided by autonomous institutions, and autonomous institutions are approved by AICTE. Now, the institutions offering these two programs are a little different. MBA is offered by IITs, FMS Delhi offers an MBA, NITs offer an MBA, and other universities such as DU and JNU offer an MBA program. They don't offer a PGDM. PGDM is offered by, of course, you know who, your IIMs, you have your XLRI, ISB, SPGen, and so on and so forth. Now comes the more practical aspects of the differences. Now, so far we had discussed the technical aspects, the technical differences. Now we are looking at it from a more practical, ground reality based difference. Affordability, MBA programs are a little affordable because again, they are provided by universities. Universities in India are generally subsidized. So MBA programs are cheaper. PGDM programs are a little expensive because these are provided by, with the exception of IIMs, which is why we've put a star mark here, all the other institutes are private, and therefore the fees are a little higher because private institutions and institutions providing PGDMs, they have to rely on fees for the revenue. So that explains the higher cost. Now, focus areas too, there's a difference. In an MBA, the emphasis is mostly conceptual. The emphasis is more academic, it's more conceptual. In a PGDM, the emphasis is more practical. They teach you practical skills. It's a lot more case study heavy. It's a lot more industry specific. So you do have those differences. PGDM is a lot more leadership based. I'm not saying that the MBA program will not cover these things, but the MBA program generally focuses on MBA, on businesses from a more academic perspective, which is also reflected in their curriculum. So again, the curriculum for a PGDM is more practical, industry oriented, and importantly, it is updated frequently. So as and when there are major disruptions in an industry, the program here in PGDMs, the PGDM program is updated a lot faster. MBA programs, of course, you have to align with the university guideline, and there's and by virtue of which you cannot update it as quickly. Now moving on, this is I think the part where most of you showed up for the video, most of you clicked on this video because you guys wanted these figures and we have brought them for you. Now the fees, like I said, they are affordable. IIT Bombay offers you, takes 16 from you, and the package figures are very impressive. The average is 28.01, highest goes up to 72. This is 2024. And by the way, guys, all these figures we have extracted from their brochures directly. So this is directly from the horse's mouth. We have not referred to an external, any other like website or something. No, these are directly from the IIT MBA websites themselves. IIT Delhi, we could not get the figures for 2024, but we do have them for 2023. And again, no matter which IIT you pick, we have picked the top 5. The figures are impressive. And if you are to look at the ROI, you're paying, say in Delhi's case, you're paying 12 lakhs. And your package on average is going to be around 25.8, 26. So that's a little above 2 times, 2x. That's an incredible ROI. Now, so far, you guys would have been watching and you guys would have thoroughly enjoyed this video. And now comes the point where I have to burst your bubble a little bit. So yes, time to discuss some of the cons. Now, firstly, the focus is very tech heavy, very analytics heavy, right? They don't focus as much on finance or sales as they do on analytics and tech. So if you're somebody who wants to make a breakthrough in finance, or if your aim is finance or sales, maybe IITs are not the first choice for you. Then moving on, non-engineers may find the emphasis on analytics, numbers, this whole quants heavy approach. It might deter you a bit. It might be something that you find a little overwhelming. That could definitely happen. And of course, the pedagogy is not as case study focused as you would find in the top IIMs or in the PGDM programs. The pedagogy, the academic training, the way of training you at these colleges, the academic curriculum, the program, it's gonna be, again, more academic, more technical. It's not as case study heavy. So if you're somebody who wants to study a lot via case studies, not exactly the first choice for you. And finally, though the IIT brand is still formidable, and when I say IIT brand, I mean the IIT MBA brand. There have been instances where recruiters may choose somebody from Black Eye or from a traditional B school, like say SP Jan or maybe even MDI. They may choose a candidate from that school over you when it comes to placements or recruitments, or even within your organization when it comes to promotions. It could happen. We are not saying it always happens. We're not saying that you are at a permanent disadvantage if you choose an IIT for an MBA. We're not saying any of that, but it's our duty to let you know that this does happen, sadly. You could be really outstandingly gifted, but this may still happen. So we just had to throw this caveat out there for you. And with that, our discussion comes to a close. Thank you so much for being so patient and being with us till the end of the video. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a nice day.